Hello YouTube, TrinityTCG here to give you a deck profile on my favorite deck from that set. Not the current set, but the last set, EX set. We got the new support in the current Change Liberation. It is my favorite deck. This is my namesake on the Digimon Discord. Mr. NSP here, giving you guys my Nature Spirit deck profile for the current format. This is a very fun budget deck. I really want to max old art it out later on. Not the SPs. If I pull it, I pull it. I definitely want to pick up the level 7 and Digimon alternate arts. It's a deck that I'm constantly going around testing different ratios. I'll even give suggestions when I go over the deck profile, and I'll give you a combo at the end as fast as I can because my camera is starting to die. So hopefully I'll be able to put this deck profile out. Without further ado, we'll get on to the deck profile. We're on 4 of the brand new egg Motimon. I do not run Wanyamon. It's not a tip. Wanyamon's a fine egg. It's just that this is your bread and butter. This egg is your win condition, pretty much. This is the one you want to have in your sources. If you have the Wanyamon and not this, you're in kind of an awkward situation. And yeah. So that's it for our egg. We run Motimon. He'll be part of the combo later on. Next, we'll move on to our boss card of the deck. This is a card you could run 3 copies of, but I like to max it out. I'm on 4 copies of Talakomon. I can't pronounce that very well. My apologies. But basically, it is your Jawgrass. It is your boss card. He basically plays 2 Nature Spirits from your hand, and then he minuses DP for every Digimon you control when he's Digivolved and attacked. Just an amazing card. He's also part of the combo. He's our boss card of the deck. We are a level 7 deck. Then we run our main boy, Eldoradamon. He's our main mega. He is our end of turn Jawgrasser. He's basically lets you check top 4 and play any Nature Spirit 7 cost or less. So most of the time you'll be playing your Ace Digimon, so you can end of turn Jawgrass with his effect. He's also a 12k blocker, and he's just really good. Moving on, we play 3 copies of Saber-Leomon Ace. This is one of the ratios you could change around. I really like him at 4. In fact, I want to run him at 4. It's just I'm kind of testing so many different ratios. I found that he's consistently fine at 3. He is very searchable, and he comes up just fine. If you really wanted to run 4, I suggest dropping the next card to 1 copy. And another thing you could do is you could run Metal Edamon if you really wanted that extra swing. But I found that very inconsistent, personally speaking, and it didn't come up enough to warrant the brick off of the top 4 search. I'd rather, if I saw a mega, it be any of these guys. So next we're on 2 copies of, which I did pick up while it was cheap, Hercules Kabuterimon. Again, I will say this, his blast effect is not as strong as Saber-Leomon, even though it did win me 2 matches this weekend, ironically enough. Yeah, it's kind of funny, because it's come up more IRL than it has online, because it won against, basically, my friend was trying to test Heavy Metal Dramon and proxy this stuff, and I basically shut down he would have killed me without this. If I had this, he would have won. He was like, okay, Saber-Leomon doesn't hurt me, and he was pretty sure I was only on 1 copy, and I'd already gone through it. But I had the second one, and I rested his whole board. He swung, took out 2 security. I played Jagomon and passed the turn, and I gained 3 memory off that and Overflow. So this card, while not that powerful, I really love its effect to buff itself and give piercing to something. And basically, it's just a really nice... it's also, if you have a memory tamer and they have a full board of Digimon, you can hard play this for 3 and then swing with the Alliance with your Motimon, and it's just really nice. I've grown to love this card a lot more in testing over time than I have originally. I will say Saber-Leomon is way better, though. But again, we have 5 targets to play off of this. I kind of want 6, but that's being a little greedy. So this is the current ratios I'm with right now. We'll move on to level 5s. I run 2 copies of Jaggermon on play. Digivolve something, and then basically all your Nature Spirits gain blocker. We run this for the mirror match because I hate Jaggermon. Also, just because we don't want redirects, and Shogun Gekomon basically makes it so your stuff cannot be redirected, and you can stun something as well. So those are the 2 ubs we run as our level 5 slots. Just really good to play off our effects. Next is a little controversial in my opinion, but this is where I found the most success. I'm on 30 copies of Triceramon. The reason I'm on 3 and not 2 is because I'm doing a 3-3 split for the Inheritable. Because I really find his stun effect does come up in some scenarios, and he has the same Inheritable as the next card. Whereas I was on 4 of this because it was an Insectoid and it was searchable, but I found 3 is just fine. The stun and the Fortitude does come up, but I feel like I need the stun sometimes a little too much to have it at 2. Again, you could run this at 2 and this at 4. That is something that you can definitely do. But 3-3 has been where I found the most success personally. And I think it's very dependent on what you fight against, your local meta, your local friends group, whatever. But that's something that you should look out for. Next, we'll move on to the level 4s. I'm on a 1 copy of Tortomon. We'll just put it right there. This is the one where I'm not sure about personally. And I do like it as the one of. It actually, weirdly enough, is coming up a lot, just like personally for me. It's an extra copy of Reboot, which has been coming up a lot when I don't get Gatsumon, as well as it cannot be deleted by your opponent's effects during their turn. So, weirdly enough, it's actually clutched me against Heavy Metal, because he just couldn't blow this out to finish the game, and I was able to rebuild and recover. Again, Heavy Metal is a very niche deck, and as of this moment, it's probably the worst deck in the game. But it's a deck that my friend is three of my friends actually like to play. One IRL, one on Discord, and one on locals. Just like playing Heavy Metal. So I teched this in for that matchup, which is such a weird thing to think about so many people playing it. But the deck does actually get really good next set, so I highly suggest players not to sleep on Heavy Metal going forward. The Ace and the Tamer really make that deck scary and like an actual OTK threat. Kind of like what they did with this deck to a similar extent. Like how Nature Spirits were just kind of like a common build deck that didn't do much. How now they can take out 5 security out of nowhere. The same can be very much said about Heavy Metal in the following set. So be sure to keep your eyes out. This can be something else. You could probably make this level 4. But again, I just like the tech slot for the Reboot and basically the blocker that can't be KO'd by effects. This is kind of like your flex spot. You can try to take that out as you will. We'll move on to the next cards of the deck. I run 2 copies of Kabuterimon. Now, I'm not sold on this level 4. I will be honest. But the fact that we're on 2 copies simply because it can rest something, so I can get around a blocker, as well as it's an Insectoid, so it's another Insectoid target to search off a Tentomon, so you can +2. It's also green, so we can search it off Davis. So, well, I don't really like his effect all too much. It's just generically a good 2k buff and a generic rest. So it's not a bad card by any means. It's just, he hasn't come up too much since I like to build up and breeding and then take out 5 security. But that does not underplay how valuable he is in his deck in any way. Next, we have the most important card in the deck, which I would probably put the 4 if I dropped Tortomon, which is Geckomon. It has inherited jamming, and it's on play when Digivolving, draw 1 card. Just one of the absolute best ways to cycle through your deck, and just have jamming is nice, you know? Now we run the best level 4 in the deck, Monochromon. It is your 1 cost evolve piercing, and it can evolve on Nature Spirit for 1 cost. It's also a dinosaur trait. Like, this card is just, look at him. He's so freaking cute. He basically embodies what I love about Nature Spirits, and it just gives me the old school Digimon feel. That is it for our level 4s. Again, keep in mind, if you're skipping through the video to see the numbers, you're losing out on some valuable information on the deck. Next, we're running 4 copies of Tentomon. It is our Searcher. It is our new level 3 of the deck. We can finally stop running Ukomon. I love that so much. Based on play, you can reveal the top 3 cards. Add 1 Nature Spirit card and 1 Insectoid trait to your hand. And Inherited is plus another plus 2k buff. So yeah, just you have to search your Insectoids. This is why we're running Kabuterimon. And it's actually come up quite a lot, which is also why we're running 2 copies of Hercules. That way we can add both, just to have more targets. Next, this is something I'm kind of debating on. I'm on 4 copies of Gatsumon. And the reason I'm debating on it is that I really value the reboot after swings, so people don't crash into me after I take out all their security and set me back. I'd rather them try to delete me off an effect than crash into me. Just to give me a little bit of reboot, just nice. Also because, you know, having reboot on Eldoradomon, if you don't have the level 7, you can kind of restand them as blockers. So I really value the inherited reboot. However, that being said, I do wish I could bump up Otamon to 4 at some points. That's something you could also look forward into. Moving on now, try to speed through this. 3 copies of Otamon. I want the Ultra Art when it comes out. I very much do. So that's something I'm very looking forward to. I hope it's not too expensive. Basically, this is just your, you know how every one of the Nature Spirits, Nightmare Soldiers, and Deep Sabers got 1 Floodgate? This is our Floodgate. It just basically says they can't reduce play costs. And I love that it's a Floodgate that can evolve on green and yellow. I'm green and blue. What am I saying yellow for? I'm colorblind, apparently. And it also evolves on Nature Spirit, which is nice. But then we run 3 copies of the best card in the deck. You could run 4. I think 3 is the sweet spot. Nature Spirits. And basically, this is the bread and butter of the deck. It's basically a field spell. You activate it for 2. You put it to the bottom of your security. You add the bottom security to your hand. Besides, basically not itself. You add the bottom security, you place it there face up, and you have basically Alliance on all your Digimon for the rest of the game. And, yeah. You could run this at 4 if you really wanted to, but I think 3 is fine. Next, I'm on 3. This is controversial, but I'm on 3 Davis. I want to have the memory tamer set up as fast as possible. This is also our searcher of the deck. It's also add a green and a blue Digimon, which is a good majority of our deck, which is Geckomon, Shogun Geckomon, our level 7, our level 6s, besides Eldoradamon, and just a really good memory tamer for the deck. Other cards you could include is Metal Edamon for the Jogress off your level 5s. You could also run Heaven's Judgment, which is a card I was on a lot. You could bump up Nature Spirits and a lot of cards. That being said, we'll do a quick combo for the deck, and that is it for the deck profile. We'll do a quick combo. We'll say I'll have Davis. We'll have the Motimon here. We'll do it upside down. We'll do it the other way. Being stupid here. We'll have Davis, Motimon. Let's say it doesn't really matter, honestly. We'll just say we have 1 security over here. This is our, we'll do 2 security. We'll have 2 security, and we will build up a stack. We'll have Gatsu, just give it jamming, I guess. Gecko, Kabuterimon in this, make it a colorful stack. And we'll go into Eldoradamon. We'll go with this. So we're at we're starting at 3 memory, alright? Alright, we Digivolve into this. Alright, we have this face up, we move, we promote, we'll Digivolve into this, going down to 0. Right? They have a Digimon on the field. Right? We'll go into this for 3, passing the turn normally. We'll activate this effect. Check top 4, we choose to play Heavy Leomon, or the other one, doesn't matter. We now trigger Motimon, end of turn, attack. So we'll attack into, actually no, let's pretend this is not this. We'll do the other combo here. We'll give it Piercing, okay? So we'll swing with Piercing into their Digimon with Alliance at end of turn. So 2 checks, I delete their Digimon, so I trash security, I attack for 2 checks. Alright, end of turn effect here. Since I resolved the other effect to attack, I will now Jogress, and I will go into, if I can find the dang pile. Oh, it's over here. What am I doing? Talakomon. Now, Talakomon's effect lets us play a Digimon. So, we get to play 2 Digimon with Nature Spirits. So, we'll play like a Tentomon and Surge. And I probably have an ace in hand, judging from normal experience. So, we will play, let's go, we'll go just Shogun Geckomon. Just give it a Shogun Geckomon. Alright, now we'll go Alliance. We'll swing with, since we Jogress, the inherited resets, we'll swing with Alliance. And then we get to swing for 2 checks on security. That's 5 checks on the opponent. And if this deck ever gets Rush, boom, yeah. Now, the deck doesn't need Rush, I'm just saying. But basically we took out a board, so we took a Digimon, this kills another Digimon. We set up an ace. We could also just poke with this if we really wanted to. It really depends on your situation, what you think they have left. But that combo right there can take out 5 security on 1 promote and just having that face up. So that is it for the combo. That's just one of the combos. That's basically the main thing, which is why I very much value the Motimon. As soon as I saw the Motimon in this card, I saw the other support as way more. So I was like, the Tentomon's good because of Searcher. And then I saw the ace, and I'm like, that's all right. It's not the best card, but it's pretty good, I guess. I saw the Fortitude, and I'm like, that's all right. And then I saw, like, Kabuterimon, and I was like, eh. And I'm like, this is just really mid. And then we got the Egg and the Nature Spirit reveal of the field spell, or field option, and I was like, that's amazing. That makes all this support way better to me. And this is basically what it amalgamated into. Basically, you can take out 5 security in one go, nuke a board, and set up a board. And that is it for the deck. I hope you enjoyed this little combo guide. It's one of the decks I really like playing, so I didn't mind doing a quick combo guide for it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and be sure to check out Nature Spirits. It's a very fun deck. I'll catch you in the next video. Ciao, Digijust.